It will be a gold matchup. It's going to be a ZVZ. Apparently mirror matchups are the thing to do in CTL. And spawning at the top right of Whirlwind for Team Extraterrestrials Community League, it is Cold-Blooded. Again, playing in purple. Apparently purple was the communication of what we're supposed to play in, and that's not true. But his opponent spawning in the top left of Whirlwind, playing in blue for Team Guns and Roaches, it's Matt Gopak. I'm trying to think of other pronunciations for his name, but I think that's about all I'm going to get out of it. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, mirror matchups are always intriguing. I think ZVZ has almost leveled out in terms of what happens in it. It turns into a situation of if you survive past 8 minutes or so to any sort of quick speedling or bailing busts, it's whoever can get their third base up and started and ready and going before the other person. And it turns out who's going to win is going to be who can get that base up. It's a lot nicer than some of the straight up just muted battles we had at the beginning of Hardest Warm, but it is still Overlord Kiss of Love here. Yeah, they pass through each other. It's still a volatile matchup, especially in the early game. And then right around when those layer timings finish up and mutas can first pop out. Because if mutas show up completely unannounced and unscouted, it's a scary time for the other player. Both players are just going to go hatch first, though, even though they did scout that they were close positions on Whirlwind, given the fact that they did cross Overlords. Matt Gopak, regardless, is going to be scouting down here. He probably just rallied his drone out and didn't really think about the fact that he did see the nice purple dot coming his way. And Cold-Blooded does come in and he does see that this natural hatchery is already up, and I believe his drone had actually already seen that as well. Seems Matt's pool started a little bit earlier. It's probably just a slight hiccup by Cold. No big deal at this point in the game. No gas yet from either player. Expect to see gas maybe soon. Maybe someone's going to be crazy and go for a third hatch very quickly, but given that this is ZVZ, I would kind of doubt to see that. And as I say that, Cold-Blooded is going to throw down his first gas. He's going to want to have speed, or at least the option to get into bailings relatively quickly. But for now, rather standard openings by both players. Still no gas coming from Matt, and he is banking up quite highly on minerals right now. I guess he wants to be able to get queens out ASAP. He does have the ability to make 2 queens at the moment, and he does do just that. Actually, both players make 2 queens at nearly the same exact time. Cold's queens are actually slightly earlier, even though his pool was a little bit later. So it looks like both players are just content to let this game get past 10 minutes at the very least. Once Cold gets up to his 100 gas, we'll see speed, I imagine. And still no gas yet for Matt Go. And if there's enough time where Cold has speed finished and his opponent doesn't, that can be very dangerous for Matt Go. But for the time being, both players just gonna sit back, drone up, get an economy rolling. Cold does have the gas to get speed at the moment, but he's a little bit mineral low at the moment, so he's unable to do so. Actually, Matt Go has put up 2 spine crawlers at his front. He seems to be a little bit afraid of, I don't know, something. Who really knows what he's afraid of. I guess he did see this gas. He saw the gas finished, so he knows speed is a possibility, or anything of the sort. Cold speed is just now on the way, and 2 gases did just finish up for Matt Go. So he will catch up relatively quickly in the gas count, given that Cold is still on a single gas in his main base. And it's going to be a quick roach warren, and actually 2 evo chambers at the same time. Still only on the 1 gas, with just a second gas finally coming down. 2 evo chambers and a roach warren on 1 gas, soon to be 2, is a little bit unnecessary. Not to mention the fact that he is already going into lair. He's going to be really kind of unable to do much with all of this tech that's coming out, and not much really gas to back up said tech. But oh well, he will have speed, just about 20 seconds or so. His opponent still hasn't actually started speed yet. He's not going to, it seems. +1 air missile attacks are coming out for Cold-Blooded, so he really wants to just go straight up. tech play for the time being. I guess he's throwing out a spore collar. I don't think there's no spire anywhere. I mean, lair is on the way from Echo, and there isn't like a third and fourth gases yet, so no telling why he felt it necessary to put down the spore crawler, other than just feeling like he is so used to ZVZ turning into muted battles that he wants to have that spine collar there for the safety. But 3 roaches and roach speed on the way for cold-blooded, and both players still just droning out. Matt Goes actually has a nice 7 drone lead, but his gas count is quite high. Once that lair finishes, I would almost expect to see a spire come out, given how much gas he has already banked and the fact that he's adding on 2 more gases. But he is throwing down the Roach Horn and the double Evo Chamber, so we kind of expect him to see going to similar playstyle as his opponent in the purple, but still no actual choice of what he's doing. He's going to get 1-1 at the same time, and roach speed, and a few defensive roaches, it seems, but beyond that, it's kind of be waiting for a third base to come up for either player, or even an attack with perhaps with +1/1 for cold-blooded, since his will be finished a little bit earlier. He will have the option of attacking with an upgrade advantage if he likes, but a nice, really kind of tight wall here at Mako's front, so nothing's really going to be able to get in and get a nice concave. Meanwhile, these 2 spine crawlers and whatever army units Mako has up in his natural will be able to just shoot everything down that's on this ramp, just kind of waiting to get up. These first few roaches are going to be coming out for cold, and they are seen by Mako, given his decent overload spread. He's kind of able to see what is coming his way in most paths, and I feel like these roaches are just going to be checking for a third base rather than trying to attack necessarily. Given he doesn't see the third base here, we kind of expect to see these roaches come down and check for the third, but right now, cold-blooded, I just noticed cold-blooded workers are very, very low, only at 29 workers at the moment. 2, Matt goes 50, and that's really going to translate very soon. As you can see, the army supply, every bit of supply really is in the favor of Mako. So few workers for Cole, but he's just unable to really produce anything. And another 8 roaches on the way. He already has a nice roach advantage right now, 23-13, and with nothing back home really, and only these 28 workers, and only these few amount of roaches, it looks like Cold is going to be overrun fairly soon. His 1-1 did finish, but Mako's is finishing up almost right now at the same time. And with the huge roach advantage that he does have, and Cold-Blooded being kind of afraid because he has seen that his opponent does have a large number of army units, he's not really droning up still. Only on 33 workers. Meanwhile, his opponent has started to take his third base, and at the same time he's moving across the map with this huge ball of roaches, with 10 more about to pop. And this is really just going to kind of crush what Cold-Blooded has up here if he decides to poke in. He's going to go check and make sure there's not a third, since his scouting ling was taken out over here. But they don't see a third. They know there's no third up yet. He's just going to check up and make sure there's no third anywhere else. And he does see that there's nothing there. So I don't know. I would kind of expect you would, at this point, this looks like there would be a bunch of meters suddenly appearing in your main base, but as it stands, that is not the case. 155 supply to 92 right now in favor of Mako, and he's going to come up here and attack. And with just a small amount of army force here, it's 104 to 50 army supply, and that number is just dwindling immediately for Cold-Blooded. A few more units do pop up, but this is really not going to do too much, and Mako is just going to be rolling in here and taking out everything in Cold's natural base, taking out every single drone that is here. The drones are pulled off to try to attack, but supply is down to 29 for Cold-Blooded, and this game is all over except for the GG. Be waiting for that eventually as Mako comes up here. He's going to be ransacking his main base as well. So nicely played here by Mako, and it's again kind of what you will see when you can actually build workers. Workers are a good thing. At the end of the game there, we were at 50 workers to 12. So it's not like either player was like super economy heavy, but there was a fairly large difference between the two, and that really showed up once Mako started to make army units, and he was able to. So with that, GnR does take a quick 2-0 lead here in this 9-map set.